All right, welcome back to the Daily Tao. Buddha Zhen here, and I'm on number 25, and this is a big one. And I think I improved my lighting. I did something up there and washed my face. Might have pinched it a little bit too, so hopefully it doesn't look like I got stung by a bee. and anyway, comb my hair. So anyway, those are my efforts. In other words, we talked about, remember, the self-discipline? That's my self-discipline, is that little extra effort to look nice and everything. A lot of people just spend all their time looking nice, but they're not developing themselves on the inside. But, you know, I need to spend a little more work on the outside. So I'm not faulting anybody. We just got to see where our balance is and see if we want to shift it. Okay, if I was an actor, I need to spend a lot more time on the outside than the inside. Okay, here we go. But that's what I'm trying to change too. I'm trying to help actors be a lot more than tools. Okay, number 25. Each person can exemplify the ultimate powers of nature by intelligent and natural actions. That's only the first sentence. There's a whole bunch. But let's read that one sentence again, because that's important. So in other words, it's saying if you're smart and natural, that's better than being stupid and unnatural, right? And unfortunately, why when I say things like that do I picture Mr. Trump? Each person can exemplify the ultimate powers of nature by intelligent and natural actions. As each goal is planned, initiated, incorporates ideals, and is completed, so are the seasons of life imitated. I'm going to read that one sentence again. As each goal is planned, initiated, incorporates ideals, and is completed, I'm going to make 4 seasons there, so are the seasons of life imitated. Intelligent goals must be natural and within nature's patterns, so that the ultimate powers can be utilized and harmonized with, not opposed. In this way, goals that are also nature's goals are natural goals that enhance life. Wow. There's a lot there, but it's kind of simple though. It's basically saying that if you can develop your life to have goals and processes and beginnings and endings that kind of flow like nature, then you and yourself are a natural nature. You have your own Tao. The Tao has its Tao, and now your Tao and the bigger Tao are in harmony with each other, and so now it's kind of like swimming. Swimming in water. Okay, so here we go, real fast. This is 2 pages long, so let's see what I can do. This has got a lot of blanks to fill, so this may go really fast. List your current goals in terms of the 4 seasons of nature. So first of all, come up with all your goals. Now trying to figure out how they fit into the seasons of nature. Which ones, where are they at? Are they in their autumn? Are they dying? Are they old? And, something you did 10 years ago? Or is it the winter? Is it something that's you're planning, but it's not ready because you don't have the resources like the sunlight? Or is it the spring where now you've got everything together and you're really putting all your effort into making it happen? Or is it the summer when everything's flowing along and now you're starting to pump the product out from building the business? So you see, you've got these seasons you can work with. So you want to take your goals and then start looking at them in terms of how they fit into a seasonal structure. So let me go along, because like I said, I broke this down into the 4 seasons, and then I gave you some kind of clues into the seasons to help you kind of understand them a little better. So in this case, autumn. So I'm summarizing this, because remember, our goal is to figure out how to make this work for us in our lives. So that's why I'm kind of superimposing these human concepts on this book. Autumn. Clean up and prepare for the future. Fertilize and planning. Okay? So, once again, if you're the goals that are at this stage of operation are your autumn goals. You're cleaning them up, you're preparing them for the future, you're fertilizing them, you know, and maybe they're, you know, like I said, maybe dead stuff, so you got to revitalize them. And you're in your planning phase, okay? So you're in a kind of a, this is kind of a mulch situation. Okay, so what are the goals? You list them out, and then you put down, you got a column to put down in these goals the ideals that are incorporated. So if one of your goals has the ideal of maybe pleasing your wife, you know, that's the whole reason you're doing it. Maybe another one is because it satisfies this long-term thing you wanted to do since you were a little kid. Maybe this other one is because you're doing it for somebody else, and when you're done, they're going to pay you a whole bunch of money. Your ideals. When your ideals, we got to be more idealistic. In other words, what are your ideas? How does it really satisfy your ideals, your nature, in terms of being a better person? Well, this is going to improve my ability to do this, or maybe it's going to make me understand this better. I don't know. Try to put some ideals in. I'll have to think about that more myself. Okay, and then it's got two other columns. So you got the goal. What ideals are incorporated in this goal? Like for me, might be philosophy or Buddhism or something like that. You might have something specific in there. Now, then there's two more lines. The first, it says first step. In other words, what's your next step? What's the thing you got to do? And what's your overall strategy? And I'll give you a teeny little line to do it. You know, so, but, you know, what's your strategy? Oh, I'm going to do this, and then your strategy. Then I'll do this and this, something like that. Okay, so you got like 4 goals, and you do all that. Okay, next one is winter goals. This is where you're organizing and protecting. And you're establishing territories and boundaries. In the case of a farmer, you'd be laying out your field, you know, and this is where you'd be deciding, you know, where to put the crops and everything. So you're establishing, you're building the future, you're building the house. You're going to build a business. First thing you got to do is build the building, maybe. Okay, so what are your goals? What are the ideals incorporated in those goals? The ideals, once again, we can expand on this. I'll have to give it more thought too. And then our first step in your strategy. Okay, so each of these goals, and see but the next big step. So I've not only made you just put it out there, but I've made you kind of think, what should I really be, where am I going next? Okay? Spring. Your spring goals. This is where you're planting the seeds and you're beginning to work on your project on a daily basis. You know, you're out there tending the field, you're watering them, you're pulling the weeds. Now you're working specifically. If you're like me as a musician, this is where you're recording in the studio and you're editing and overdubbing and mixing and all this type of stuff. So this would be the spring. This is the springtime, the creation of the product. Then comes summer. That's when you harvest and sell. You complete your projects and you end the work. So in the case of a record, you package it up and sell it up, boom, and start the advertising and go on tour or go to the next record. So in your case, if your ideals, your first step, and your strategy, but your summer, what things are you finishing right now? What's this thing you've been working on? You got a car in your garage you've been working on. So it's going to be, that's done. You're in their summer, okay? So here's some questions to ask to illuminate all of this stuff. But this is for you. Like I said, I want you to make this work for you. You lay out your goals. You kind of try to figure this out. You sort it out. And in the process, you're going to learn something. You're going to see something. Or you can't know everything, or you wouldn't be here. You're going to lay it out and see if you can't, learn something from your own stuff. Okay, here's how do all your goals fit together and what is their combined result? Okay, what's an overall perspective? If I was to look at this and say, okay, well, what do you look like this guy's trying to do? How does this combined result of your goals fit on your path? How does this combined result fit on your path? Got to define your path. I don't think we've talked about that enough. But anyway, your path, and that's going to change and should always change. But from where you can see it right now in this section of your path, where are you going? Are you hopefully on the right path? Okay, which goals do not really fit on your life path and why? It's not like you have time for everything, but you got to come up with a better excuse than that, okay? Because everybody got a limited amount of time, so you got to figure out why does this not deserve for you to put time into it. Okay, so put everything in perspective there. Lastly, list your methods and techniques for planning the strategies of each goal listed above. So if you do look at all of those things, how do you determine what's your strategy for getting anything done? Okay. All right. probably didn't say anything. If I didn't think of anything, probably just went, I don't know. Well, you got to get a list. Get a list. Get a to-do list for every single project you're doing. So if your project is to even mow the lawn once a week on Saturdays, put up a list of them on the month or whatever, and you can do it so many different ways. But anyway, you've got your Saturday mowing list. I wouldn't make a list just for my mowing, but on the calendar, you just go ahead. Maybe all through your calendar, you write mow the lawn on every Saturday on your calendar, okay? And then as you come to that, you say, oh, yeah, I'm going to mow the lawn today. Or the next day before you go, oh, yeah, I'm going to mow the lawn tomorrow, you see? And so that helps you get it done. So there's all kinds of methods and techniques you can use to make your strategies happen. And planning and to-do lists and goal lists and updating your weekly lists and your calendars. These are all important things. Okay, now the guy that's just got a job and gets to go to work every week and knows where he's going to be and everything, he doesn't really need so many to-do lists. But then again, do you really want to be a cow? Don't you? Maybe you want a little bit more in your life. You can learn something. You could be something. Well, just learn some more. It makes life more interesting to learn something. To go to night school and take an automotive class and learn some things. And it might not even be so much that you learn something. The people you meet might be really interesting, and you might have new relationships, or just the experience of going to school just might be better for you than just working in your garage all alone and never talking to anybody. So anyway, just kind of look at life as one of those things that you want to always kind of be revitalizing. Well, that's why we're here. We're kind of looking at it from lots of different ways. Okay, here we go. Did I make it? 11 minutes. Okay, Tao of Taoism. Oh, I got time to read the beginning again. Okay, this is a tough one, big one. This is number 25, the Tao of Taoism. Actually, my version of it, the Tao of Taoism. And here we go. Each person can exemplify the ultimate powers of nature by intelligent and natural actions. I'd sure like to think nature is intelligent and natural. Okay, as each goal is planned, initiated, incorporates ideals, that's an part that we need to work on. I want to think about that some more. And is completed, so are the seasons of life imitated. Intelligent goals must be natural and within nature's patterns, so that the ultimate powers can be utilized and harmonized with, not opposed. In this way, goals that are also nature's goals, nature might want you to have that farm. Saying, yeah, go ahead and have that farm and feed all those people. That's a good idea. In this way, goals that are also nature's goals are natural goals that enhance life. Yeah. So let's all enhance life. Let's all be individuals, personally driven, have our own ambitions, have our own desires, our own likes, our own wants, but still all harmonize, work together. All right, Buddha Zhen here, saying the world can be a nice place. Just need to have nice people in it. So nice people are in harmony.